Hello, I'm Paul.
I'm Adam.
I'm Ben.
And welcome to FilmBusters.
FilmBusters. This is a very big week for all our listeners, just to give you some context, because these two won't give you any context. Paul is a very, very huge Toy Story fan. Massively so.
I have a son who is called Woody. I, right now, am wearing a Pizza Planet t-shirt, and I also have an alien Toy Story bag sitting right next to me.
What, a rucksack?
Yeah, rucksack.
Is it yours?
Limited edition.
When did you get that?
Oh, I got it ages ago.
Why I never seen you with it?
Well, you don't know me that well, do you?
I don't know you at all.
I've also got the Batman shoes on, if anyone's wondering as well.
I've seen the Batman shoes.
And if anyone's really wondering, I've got the cherries on the pants.
Oh, no one wants to hear about that glacé cherries you've got all over your boxer shorts, sir. Now, listen, tell the kids why you love it so much.
I loved it when I was younger, and then I met the love of my life who loved this film beyond measure. So it kind of heightened my experience, and we've kind of relished in our love of this franchise. So how can I not love it?
But that's why this is much anticipated, because this is much anticipated. There's a lot of expectation on this film.
There could be a lot of emotions in this podcast.
There could be.
There's more expectation for this film than there was for when Halloween came out for me last year. This is probably the most anticipated film for one member of the FilmBusters people. And for Adam, I guess it was Rise of Skywalker. Not Rise of Skywalker, that other thing.
Force Awakens.
I forgot what the damn thing was called. You're wrong too. It wasn't called Force Awakens either.
You mean The Last Jedi then?
That's it, fool.
I think we all have a genuine love for Toy Story, though, at the same time.
Yeah,
I do.
It's a 10 out of 10 film for me on Letterboxd.
Yeah,
I had to check just to make sure, but it is.
I gave the first one a 9, the second one's an 8, and the third one is a 9, but thinking about the third one, I probably should give the third one a 10.
Oh, that's lovely,
That gives you a little where I
for
stand
me,
with them.
I did a 10 for Toy Story, a 6 for Toy Story 2, a 9 for Toy Story 3, and to be revealed very shortly for Toy Story 4.
Oh, this is going to be...
And I did a 10 for Toy Story 1, I did a 9 for Toy Story 2, and a 10 for Toy Story 3.
Nobody cared for Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2 was it just wasn't perfect. I didn't really like Stinky Pete.
Oh, that's Kelsey Grammer, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but wasn't my cup of tea.
It wasn't my cup of tea.
No. Anyway, before we get onto the Toy Story talk, we should do our quiz that we do every episode. If no one actually has listened to a podcast before, we do a quiz every episode where I ask Adam and Ben 2 questions. If they get it right, they get a point. If they don't, I get the point. Right now, Ben is on 8, Adam is on 3, what a loser, and I'm on 7.
Can I even come back by the end of the year?
You got ample opportunity, mate. All the points that are on the board at the moment, there's that many points still to go, and probably a few more. Here's the siren. They come to take me away.
How about you say that again, so I'd have to have the siren blaring in the background.
But I just said, here comes the siren. They've come to take me away. So it would be out of context.
Okay, I'll just keep it in.
Well, you take that out, I would sound like a lunatic.
So yes, should we just get on with the first question?
Please.
Okay, it is obviously a tagline question, which I love to do.
I think Adam's going to get this one.
Are you sure?
Psychology, innit? Remember the clue he gave us last week, Adam?
What was the clue I gave you last episode?
I can't tell you that because Ben might have forgotten it. I don't want to remind you.
I haven't, because that's why I just said, do you remember the clue he gave us?
Yeah, but it could be double bluffing, innit?
We should give our viewers an insight because they should have just a good amount of chance as you guys are answering
Go
this
on.
question.
Well, then they should listen to the former podcast, shouldn't they?
They should do. The clue was that I normally make the tagline question, our first question, something to do with the film we're reviewing. Whether it's directly related or something roundabouts related to it. Do you want your first question? Here we go. Tagline is, meet the little voices inside your head.
Inside Out.
Oh, well done, Adam.
Oh, look at you, you little Pixar bitch.
That's kind of obvious, isn't it?
You jump all over that. I haven't even seen that grotty
You should
film.
watch it. It's quite
That
nice
was
one.
very, very quick, Adam.
Look at you, Adam.
I'm on a roll.
Slew.
Next question.
Ooh.
Question. Come on, I'm on a roll here. Let's keep it going.
Okay, should we go straight to the next one? Here we
If
go.
Adam gets this, it's going to be all to play for next week.
Here we go.
I mean, it's still like 100 points behind you, but...
Okay, here we go.
Lots of pressure on Adam now. He's going to fumble.
Yeah, I am. Peak too soon.
Yeah, you have. You won't even say a word when this question gets asked.
Let me whet your appetite.
Yes.
In the first Toy Story,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
what film inspired the decor in Sid's house?
Shining.
Yes, Adam!
Oh, whoa.
Yes.
Whoa. I didn't
that.
even know that.
It's the
Oh,
carpet,
really,
innit?
Ben? Yeah, the carpet.
I can't even think about the wallpaper in Sid's house.
It's the
It's the carpet.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't even make that connection.
I think I
Well-
read that somewhere before. That's where bam, you recall.
Well done, Adam.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dick.
Adam
You're on-
killed it.
You're on
Is that
5
the first?
points.
Is that the first Grand Slam of the year? Person getting both the questions right.
No, I've got both questions
Yes,
multiple times, my friend.
you're very late on that, Adam.
Adam.
I think it's the
look at
first
this.
Grand Slam you've ever had, Adam.
Ever. It
No.
is. So now Adam's in a position where next podcast he can either be tied with you or you can overtake me. So next time it's got interesting.
Ooh.
Let's come back.
Well done. Good questions.
Yes. Let's move on.
So we've left the scores on Ben 8, Adam 5, and me 7. Well
Ooh,
done,
lovely.
Adam.
Adam, are you bothered by the fact that Paul didn't list it all in descending order? Everyone's
What do you
score
mean?
should go from highest to lowest. It shouldn't go 8, 5, 7. It should go 8, 7, 5.
I wasn't bothered until you mentioned it, but I can tell that it's bothered you.
You know what, guys? Until you become the quiz host, you can change it, but it's never going to change.
Next year
Or
I'll be quiz host if I win, isn't it? I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah. So shall we go on to the main event?
Yes.
It's main event time.
The main event. Here is our featured topic, plus Adam might do a rubbish plot summary.
Are you fucking serious?
Right, guys, so we are reviewing Toy Story 4. If you have not seen this film, then yes, there is spoilers, because we are doing a spoiler episode. So, just to warn you, turn off now if you don't want to hear the spoilers. If you do, carry on listening. Adam, would you like to explain the plot?
Oh shit. So this is the full film in this franchise now, which is just making shit tons of money, because that's why they made 4 of them. Even though they probably, in my opinion, should have stuck on the 3rd one. But we're going to ignore that. So in this one, it's not really about the relationship with Andy. It's more about the relationship with toys within toys and what toys mean. And it's Woody finding his position again in life.
Very nice.
Yes. Speak up, will you, in future?
Why?
Because you're very quiet then.
I would not. You're just deaf.
He got
No,
a
no.
shy voice. He's using his shy voice.
Yeah, he's very
I used to
shy.
do them. That's my thinking voice.
That's why we don't hear it that often.
Normally I just shout and just go whatever comes in my head first.
Yeah. Now, who's to go first? I think it shouldn't be Paul. Paul must be last, because that's the great reveal.
Okay.
Okay, you're going first then, Ben.
You want me to go first?
Yes.
I'll explain all my reasons why afterwards. 6 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 7.
Dun, 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 dun. Get that drum roll, because this is much... Are we ready? Are we ready? Hang on. Can me and Adam make a prediction first?
Well, why not just say it?
Oh, yeah, say it.
You're giving it a 10.
I don't think they should make any more Toy Story films.
After this one, because...
Because it's the perfect ending to a Toy Story franchise. It's 10 out of 10.
Fuck off.
Ah.
You've been
Okay.
sold. Disney
Get
have
ready.
got you by your bollocks.
Absolutely.
And they are squeezing them and they're milking you for everything you
They
are
are
worth.
definitely not, mate. It was a great story. And I was
Bollocks.
totally suckered into it because I
Yeah,
absolutely
suckered is the
loved
word.
it.
Strap in, everyone. We're going to have one of those episodes where we
Yes,
strongly
tell me
disagree.
Why I was very
Tell me
excited
why
for this one.
it was so bad.
Because it would miss the magic of Toy Story. It missed everything that made Toy Story what it did. There was
Did it
no
really?
relation. It was
Toy
just Woody
Story
by
is
himself.
about the emotional heart of the toys, and this whole film was about the emotional heart of a toy.
Nah. It was unnecessary. It's undone all the hard work that they made up in Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 was a brilliant ending, and they should have left it. And they have unravelled that now. It was too much focus on Woody. They forgot about the rest of them.
It was Woody's story. It was Woody's
lacked
story. The whole story
laughter.
was Woody's
It wasn't
story.
terribly funny. It was extremely well made. All of that. That's why it's got a 7. I could have been a lot harsher and given it a 5 or a 6. The people that saved it for me were Key and Peele, though. They're the only thing that
come
made
on.
the film a bit enjoyable.
They
It also
were fine.
dragged on for
They
too
were
long.
Fine.
Key and Peele were no good.
Am I mistaken in saying that Toy Story 1 is about a toy who's a favourite toy who gets basically dethroned by a new toy that comes along. So the main character is Woody. The second one is about Woody who goes missing and gets taken by a collector who finds out that he has this whole heritage behind him, and so that is about Woody. The third one is about Woody and how he's losing Andy, who's his owner. So that one is about Woody, and this one is about Woody again. So
yes,
what
but
is the
it
difference?
also includes the other toys. That's what they forgot. They would focus too much on the one element. It was almost like a love story between him and Bo, and they completely forgot everything else that makes Toy Story so great.
I'll back Adam up on this one. This is the thing.
They missed out all the other characters.
They split the toys up too much, right? They split them up and divided them, so there was no real sense of camaraderie, and I found it hard to care about what any of them were doing. They had Buzz over here with Key and Peele, they had Woody over here off with Bo Peep, which was a very dull storyline. I didn't care for a second about Woody and Bo's relationship. It's a throwaway section in that first film, which is like a nice little addition. It doesn't need to be developed, and yet it takes up so much fucking time in this film. It's like, we don't give a shit about this porcelain bitch, and then you want us to follow the whole film about it? That may seem harsh, but I don't care for the
half an
porcelain
hour dragged on as well, and it felt like every time you were coming towards the end and the climax, they did something different, and they just kept steering you away from it, and by the end I didn't give a shit.
I think you're very mistaken in thinking that this was a story about Woody and Bo's relationship. This was a story about Woody not knowing his place, and then him realising that Bo's found her place, and that is where he should be as well, because he doesn't need to have a purpose. He doesn't need to have an owner, and that was the whole point of it, not because he's found love with Bo Peep.
The best storyline in that was probably if Woody sacrificed his voice box so that other toy could enjoy the happiness. That was the point.
Yes, and that was beautiful.
But they didn't do it. It was almost a throwaway thing in the end.
No,
it was, mate. No, I agree with Adam. That's one of my key points
threw that away, and then they went back to Bo and Woody.
How'd they throw it away?
He gave her the voice box. Yeah, but like he gave her what should have happened in that moment is that they should have taken it from him.
He should have
or him give it up, and he should have his voice should have been lost. They never
revealed the fact that he couldn't speak.
Exactly, they should have done that.
No, because that wasn't the purpose of the story. The story
it was
another plot point to show that he's had his moment, he's had his time with Andy, and that was his time in his life. And then this Gabby, who's never ever had an owner,
highly dreadful character.
She's waited for her chance to have this moment, and Woody can give her that chance, and that's when he realised, wait a minute, no, it's not about this anymore.
I know why they did it. I get it, and it was quite nice, but they didn't focus on it enough.
They didn't. They should have amplified it. Here, I was confused by that whole thing. It's like, I didn't at any point understand that she didn't have a voice box up until they clearly spelt it out and said that she wanted Woody's. So they were pulling the fuck out of Woody's one, out of his back, and then they do the operation, they stitch him up, and like he just carries on like normal.
Yeah.
That's because it's not his voice box.
Well, what the fuck was it then? The string?
It's basically the noise. It's just a sound recorder in the back of inside him.
Yeah, that's
which
the bit.
Makes
that's
a noise.
That's what made her fall in love with the kid. They didn't remake the fact that Woody can now not have that relationship with the humans anymore. He can only talk to other toys.
No, it's not about that. The point was that she couldn't pull the string on her back to make herself talk, so that someone could come and find her and see her, because she was just sitting up on a shelf, silenced, and no one knew she was there. And if she suddenly spoke, then the humans would be like, why is this doll talking when it's like doesn't even have a voice box?
Yeah, but were you invested enough in that to give a shit? You
100%.
were?
Did you cry, Paul?
No, I didn't cry.
There wasn't anything emotional in it.
There was, because Zoe bawled her eyes out.
What? I must have been asleep at that moment.
She was crying from the beginning. She was crying from the beginning, from the first scene, which was absolutely beautiful, showing Andy growing up with Woody.
I do think the beginning bit was brilliant. The best bit of the film was when they had the Pixar lamp, and then they moulded that into the moon. I thought it was great.
I didn't even notice that.
I didn't notice that. The CGI was incredible. Let's not get it twisted.
That's why
that
it was such
fucking
a well-made
fantastic
film, and all of these elements are great, but the actual storyline let it down.
The bit where RC is spinning his wheels in the puddle outside in the rain was incredible. That and the cat stretching out in the sunlight were two of the greatest bits of computer animation I have ever seen on screen. It was like insanely beautiful.
Yeah, from the first film where Scud is like bullshit CGI.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw that picture on Twitter too today, then, innit?
No, I didn't.
Oh, there's a picture. There's a comparison of Scud and the cat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like next level. Absolutely next level. It's amazing.
It was
What
it's
they
so
can do
well
now.
done, but at the same time, they missed what made Toy Story magical.
Yeah, look. I mean, so I get what Paul's saying.
It should be
and I
Woody
get why
Story,
people like
not
it,
Toy
right?
Story.
But what Paul said and what you just said is correct. This should be called something like Toy Story Woody Sets Forth or something, because it feels like a sub-movie of Toy Story. It didn't feel like... And I've got all reverence and respect for the Toy Story films. You know that I do. So I'm not just trying to be difficult. But this hurt the Toy Story franchise. It took away from it because
Toy
3
Story
is
3
the
was so well
absolute
done.
perfect emotional ending. Because the truth of the matter is, as much as it is a toy story, we are watching what those toys mean to Andy and their relationship to Andy. I don't care about a toy breaking free and finding itself because it's a fucking toy. There wasn't a human enough story for me to connect with in there. And I also was deeply surprised that Woody has spent years and years and years with all these toys, and then just very quickly
There was no
he just
emotional
says
goodbye.
see you later, Buzz, and goes off, makes that decision there and then, and doesn't have any emotional goodbye. Why didn't they give us the emotional goodbye? That may have added an emotional factor, but instead he runs off, and then we get that boring post-credits scene. I mean, the worst thing about this film, right, in all honesty, was I was bored throughout it. And I can't say it's because of this. I just
unnecessary.
found it very boring all the way through.
It felt unnecessary. It felt like they just did not need to make this.
It was
And
unnecessary. It was.
Yeah.
And but people have been going, oh yeah, but such and such was unnecessary. Is John Wick 3 isn't necessary? So isn't necessary. But it's like, yeah, but this was totally not needed. This was not needed. Who
John
is this
Wick
made
didn't have
for
a
now?
didn't have an ending. That was John Wick 2 didn't have that ending, whereas Toy Story 3 did.
Paul, you honestly, would you say that this is a better ending than Toy Story 3?
This is a better ending for Woody, yes.
All right, but forget for Woody.
Let me tell you, right, that you saying that there was no like foreshadowing for Woody not wanting to be with the toys anymore. It was throughout from the beginning. They were showing that Woody was not the normal Woody that we know. He was not like the leader. He couldn't find his place. All the toys were saying, oh, hopefully this time you're going to get picked. And it's all about him finding his purpose again. And that was evident from the beginning.
Yeah, but none of that was necessary because it ended so well with number 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a strong enough story, is it? We
No.
followed a really human story for the first 3 films, and then this one becomes about, okay, now Woody's going to realise he doesn't need to be with a kid, and he's just going to go off with Bo. That's like... Okay, if you tell me that concept on paper, it's like, okay, if you want to go that route, you've got to do it with some conviction. Because I didn't for a second believe that I will care about that relationship with him and Bo.
It wasn't even about
There
the
was no
relationship
heart
between-
to it.
It wasn't even about the relationship.
It was,
with
though,
him and
because
Bo.
that's what forced him to break away from the toys. He wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for Bo. He would have gone with the toys.
Bo was
He
an extra element. That was she was the one who helped him to learn what he can do and how he can progress in his life, and he doesn't need to be relying on a human to live.
And then in all the post-credit scenes, all he's doing is throwing toys to kids.
Yeah. What's wrong
So
with
that
that?
so that they have to live.
He's given
with
other
you.
toys their chance.
Yeah, exactly. So that is exactly
Why didn't he
the
just
whole
set all
point
the
of it.
toys free?
Because the point of the whole film was that he's had his chance with a child, and everyone else through the whole film is saying, you have a kid, because everyone wants to have that opportunity, and he's giving those toys the opportunity to have a chance with a child.
Okay, it didn't sell me on that strongly enough.
I felt like they did so well, and they just fell down at the last hurdle of the execution of this film. Also with Pixar have a magical thing of, no matter what you watch as a film, however old you are, you will be entertained by this film. You will enjoy separate elements. You can get everyone together. You can watch them together. But with this, it just lacked the other entertaining factors. It kind of did drag.
It did drag, man, and the Key and Peele characters were such stereotypes as well. You know what? They were like 80s characters.
Who was, sorry?
Key and Peele as the bunnies. That
I did quite enjoy them as a couple. They had the only ones with good chemistry on screen.
Yeah, but no, Key and Peele have a good chemistry, of course.
That's
'cause
why,
they work
and that
together
managed to
so
come
much.
across, but
it didn't. Like how many times we have to see them jumping on that old lady? It wasn't funny the first time, and then we had to see it happen twice more.
I enjoyed how little screen time these smaller characters got. I don't think they overdid it. They had their chance.
Rex
they had a
is
little
great
bit of comedy.
character. Ham's a
and
great.
then-
Dr. Potato Head. They're all
Mr. Potato
great
Head's dead.
Yeah, I know,
The
but you
actor's
can
dead,
still.
so
They
he
still
wouldn't
made
use-
him. They still made his role from other things that had before. Maybe him.
Slinky's actor's dead.
But
Jim
they
Varney,
also.
Ernest.
Oh really? Oh, I didn't
Shout
know
out
that.
to
But
Ernest,
they
man.
also need. They forgot about all of those people that make these films so great. It's the chemistry with everyone as a gang. Like when they were
I
in
would
Toy
have
Story
preferred
3.
to see all the toys together.
In Toy
yes.
Story 3, when they're going down there into that inferno, all of them holding hands.
I
and
know.
you think they're going to die. That is all of them there, and that's
That-
the
oh my
magical
God.
spread.
That moment,
Whereas now it's
oh.
just Woody, and they've lost everybody else, your emotional attachment to everybody else.
I'm just thinking about that furnace moment, and like that is how
That was generally like... oh,
that was
shit.
lightning in a
great.
bottle moment. That was insanely good. And that was insanely good. And there isn't a moment in this film that comes close to
No.
the emotional punch of that, is there?
Because they
I'm
didn't
saying
set it up
Toy Story
right.
3 is better than Toy Story 4.
They say this is the perfect ending, though.
Yeah, it's the perfect ending. It's the perfect. I wouldn't want it to end any other way. It's an ending that I didn't even think would happen, and I was like, no, that is totally makes sense. I love it.
Do you reckon they're going to make more?
No.
'Cause I think they are now. Once
think they are.
once you've gone past that magic trilogy, that's when films start to spiral into.
There's going to be a
people want.
Forky spin-off movie, guarantee.
That was
That-
a great
this-
moment. That
let's
was
address
funny, though. I'll
Forky.
give you that.
So let me say that's the best thing. Yes, that's the best thing. That's why this is getting a 6. Forky was fantastic.
When Forky came back
Oh, really?
and Rex went to him, oh, look how big his arms are. I actually generally laughed. That was great.
What?
When Forky came back and they put him down in front of the room, and everyone was like, "Oh, who's this? Who's this?" And Rex went, "Oh, look how big his arms are."
I can't remember.
yeah,
that.
I didn't even. I remember
I
hearing
found
that,
that
but I didn't
hilarious.
clock. I didn't clock what that joke. That's very good.
Forky, I thought was. I would have liked to have seen more of Forky in this. You know what I didn't like? There was a good film somewhere hidden in there, right? And I think if you had taken out the antique shop altogether, because everything that took place in the antique shop was not
Boring.
interesting to
Hell
me at all.
no.
No, all of that stuff.
Also,
was
why the
horrendous.
fact did he give her a hug at the end? There wasn't. You didn't see her and Forky, or Gabby and Forky, build up enough relationship together to warrant him leaving like that.
I know, and also like she now. Excuse me, Gabby was just a little cunt. She was a bully. Right? She was a horrendous fucking person who wasn't disabled. She just wanted fucking attention. She wanted what she couldn't get. So she was willing to grab everyone and use them and abuse them to further herself. Because why should she be sat on a shelf? And so because all of a sudden, oh, actually, she's disabled. She's not disabled. She's not fucking disabled. She's a spoilt little cunt, and we forgive her. And Woody forgives her, and Forky forgives her. And all of a sudden, we care about this little girl, and this little doll, and we care that she's running off with this little girl in the circus. Get the fuck out of here, that little cunt. She didn't deserve anything, and I was really disliked her. I disliked
could
her whole
never have
character,
guessed.
and that whole antique thing, because it revolved around her, made me go, oh, this is horrible.
No, mate. She was misunderstood.
Oh,
She
you-
was
They
misunderstood
didn't
villain.
set her character up in the right way to give her the ending that she got.
Yeah,
as well.
but this was how it played out. It played out with you thinking this is the villain, but then basically
No, because
it
they
turns on
don't
its
do
head.
that in Toy Story.
Forky
There isn't a villain.
Forky
it's just
spends
someone
time
who
with
needs
her.
to be changed.
Forky spends time with her, and because you don't see this time that he spent with her, you think, why has he got a good relationship with her by the end? And it's because Forky understands what she's actually about, and that's how the relationship.
It's not
that's how
fucking
it
Stockholm
No,
ends up.
syndrome in Toy
Forky's
Story.
naive, man. Forky's just naive and
He's just
ignorant.
happy.
So he just
He
is
thought
a
everyone
happy
was trash.
thing. Yeah.
Not by the end. Woody showed him the true ways and why
Listen.
he isn't trash.
Forky was a very fine character. Okay, he was very fine. I very much enjoyed him.
I'm very happy that it didn't revolve around Forky.
So you put
I
Man.
liked Forky, but I was like, this is just enough Forky. I don't need any more.
yeah. Well,
They should have given him longer legs because it really annoyed me the way he walked. And I just walked properly.
I thought when I came out of seeing this, I thought Paul ain't gonna like that.
Really?
So I am surprised.
Because he loves
Yeah.
a bit.
The
of
only
ugly,
thing that
literally.
gave it away was when I saw Zoe's Facebook, and I was like, yeah, there's no way that he didn't enjoy it.
Do you see it with Jenny, Ben, or do you see it by yourself?
No, I saw it by myself. Yeah, I thought you weren't going to like it because I thought I didn't think you would have been invested in that storyline of Bo or the doll.
He was always going to love it. He sucked into anything they
I'm
do.
not saying that wasn't my favourite part. My enjoyment was the whole journey of the film, not like, oh, I love that Gabby Gabby doll. What I enjoyed was the fact that they didn't play the stereotypical villain. They spinned it on its head and
she was a villain, and they didn't give her a human enough element. They should have.
No.
They should have dosed her down a bit and made you think.
I didn't feel sorry for her at all.
Her problems was the fact that she needed to be helped, and that may make her a bit shit. But like Lotso, they tried changing him, and he just kept being a dick, and then they stuck him to the front of a dustbin truck.
I love that she was misunderstood. And come on, guys,
she wasn't misunderstood, man. She was kidnapping toys and trying to rip stuff off them to become who she wanted to be.
That is how villains become villains. But then at the end of the day, no one's just a villain. They do it for a reason, and it's a misunderstood person. And when it comes to the base of things, this is the reason, because she's never had an owner and she didn't know how to express herself in that way.
The film didn't land that punch well enough then.
Well, it did for me.
Oh, mate, you should have been a moving target then.
We're going to have to stop now, because I think we're just not going to agree on this one here.
Okay, let's talk about stuff that we enjoyed in the film. I enjoyed the dummies. I thought they were so creepy and really, really well done.
No, as I've said, I didn't enjoy anything in the antique shop.
You didn't like the dummies?
No, the dummies and whatever her name is, Gabby Gabby. I didn't like any of that.
My favourite moments was when the whole gang were together at the beginning in the room, when they kept going back to the RV. They were my favourite moments, and that's why it annoyed me, because there wasn't enough of them.
Yeah, I liked the opening bit when
the opening
when Bonnie made up to the point where Bonnie made Forky, right? I was with the film, I reckon, up until the point where Forky
even then
and Woody
I kind
were
of
out
enjoyed
by
it when they
themselves.
went back into the room. Yeah, that was kind of nice.
Forky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I liked her building Forky. I liked Forky being in the room, trying to run to the trash can all the time and falling over his silly feet. I liked them walking down the road together. But as soon as they hit that antique shop, bang! I stopped enjoying the film.
Also, it was annoying that fucking Woody went in there.
Well,
his whole point was, I care so much about Forky getting it back to Bonnie. Why am I suddenly now getting sidetracked?
No, but the point was he wanted a purpose. And then he's found, like, oh my god, this is a new purpose, because I found Bo Peep, who was a really good friend of mine back in the day. And why wouldn't he go?
It's not a good friend of his, it's his lost love.
Yes, well, his lost love, if you want to say that.
What do you mean want to say that? That's the only reason he goes at the end.
No, it's not. The reason he goes is because he has a new purpose. He doesn't need the owner. Mate,
if Bo Peep does not appear at the end, do you think he's breaking away from them toys? He's not. He's doing it because of Bo.
I understand that they obviously have some kind of love relationship, but I don't think the reason he goes is because of Bo Peep. It's because this is the reason. Like he needs a new purpose, and that purpose
was her. He wouldn't have left those toys without her.
He wouldn't have left without her. That's why he turns on Buzz. That's why he says when Buzz says she's going to be okay, and he's like, yeah, I know, and he's like, I'm not talking about Bo. And then he turns round and looks at Bo because he realises he's talking about Bonnie. Then it's like, okay.
Yeah. Also, because he realises that he needs to be like a free toy.
But if he's a free toy, why is he on the land with Bo all the way then? Why isn't he just doing his thing?
Because he's not going to go be on solo, is he?
Oh, but that's being free.
Yeah, he could be free with someone else.
He went because of Bo. He wouldn't have gone without Bo.
He went because
he went with her. He wouldn't. He's not running off with the ducky and the bunny and the fucking whatever else was there in the end.
I'm not saying that Bo wasn't an integral part of him leaving, but the reason for him going was what Bo taught him, which is he doesn't need Andy. He doesn't need an owner because he can be his own independent being without having to rely on this child to please.
Yeah, I get all that. I just don't think that's a very interesting ending.
Okay.
So this is the annoying bit that annoyed me towards the end. So
everything annoyed Adam in this one particularly.
No, so at the end they all leave Woody for being a selfish dick.
Still give it a 7, Adam. You've given this a 7. If I gave this a 7, I'd be defending it a little bit more than you are.
I am, but because I feel like it was still such a good film underneath. Like you thought the animation was good. It was all so well done. It was just let down by the storyline, which is why I could never. You can't hate it. You can't give it like a
Mate,
5.
that's the problem. With a Pixar film, with an animated film, the story has to be good. Drawings and computer animation isn't enough.
I still feel that they made the elements of a good film. They just let it down. With these little points, which are now, because Paul's defending it so much, you're making me look more towards the points I hate. I don't hate it as much as I'm shouting about it, but because someone's defending it and you're now trying to prove why it's this point, it looks like you're hating it more than you actually are.
Tell us why you loved it then, Adam.
Yes.
Because I don't know.
He's punching his hands while he's
I loved
talking.
it because I really hated it.
You've got me in such a negative mind frame. That I can't...
Okay, did we have a smile on our face when we heard the "You've Got a Friend in Me" song?
Yeah, I did. I was
I can't
happy to
remember it
hear it.
happening.
It threw me back. It was
Yes.
right at the beginning.
It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, that was.
It
I
opened
kind of
the film
enjoyed
up.
them. It was just the end. It was just towards the end. It really did start to rain on me.
As I say, it's once they get to the antique shop, unfortunately, everything
No, even
spirals
up until
away
that
from
point.
being good.
Even when you had like Jesse trying to make the nail, like punching the tire. Also, it doesn't take you a whole day to fix a flat tire. That's
Yeah,
like
it took him a
20.
while.
That's like a 20-minute job.
Not if he doesn't have a tyre.
You get one.
I
quickly.
think Jesse's the reason why I didn't.
You're at
like
a
Toy
carnival,
Story
man.
2
You could
so
get a
much.
tire quite quickly.
Yeah, Zoe says the exact same thing. She don't like Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse's too hyper. Like,
Jesse came across as a
Joan
bitch,
Cusack is too loud.
but then she reined her back in Toy Story 3, and it was quite nice.
They settled her down a bit.
You know that Bo Peep is voiced by Janine from Ghostbusters.
Oh yes, I looked at her face and I was thinking, why do I recognise her?
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
But anyway, at the end of the film, this is what I'm getting back to before you both distracted me. They all left Woody for being a dick. And then suddenly, nothing really happened in Bo's mind, but she's like, oh, let's go back. She just got back to the thing. It was like, actually, no, we're going back for Woody now. It was all these,
I know,
like,
yeah, but that's because
ending-
they don't leave
the ending-
each other behind, do
I
they?
know
Yeah.
you know they're never going to leave each other, but there was nothing that clicked in her head. It was just kind of, oh, this is dragging again, they're going back now. Oh, now they're running across the rooftops. Oh, now she's looking at that little girl. Oh, look, this, all that. Oh, it just, like, the ending it really started to grain on me.
It was all too a little bit sentimental for me in a way that wasn't quite deserved.
Right.
Like the little moments that I didn't like is like how sentimental it was once the Gabby doll went with that little girl and her parents find her because she's missing at first, and the look on the security guard's face, it's like, oh, this is so saccharine and sickly sweet. I understand it's a kids film, but we haven't had that before. You know, in Toy Story when we have Sid, where's the edge in this? You need a bit of edge in these kids films, and this didn't have it.
The edge is those dummies in the antique store, because that was just terrify kids. I don't know how they haven't put like it should be a PG, not a U.
I don't think those dummies
Also, nobody
They were
drives
terrifying.
through a fairground, gets stopped by the police, and then just goes, oh, yeah, back in the vehicle, you can go back now.
Come
I
on,
know,
it's
but
a kids
anyway, never
film.
mind that stuff.
It's a kids
But
film.
there's a Shining reference that I'm amazed you haven't brought up, Adam.
Where?
Yes, Paul, did you see it? This
No,
is why
I
I
didn't.
said when you said the Shining thing from Toy Story 1, I was like, oh, interesting.
I did
Did you-
hear that, but I never saw it.
It's a musical cue. In the antique shop, when they're walking
Was it when
with
the-
Gammy,
They
there's a
starts
bit of
playing the
music that plays.
I did recognise the music when it played, but I couldn't think of where from.
Yes.
When they walk past, they what's it called? The big
What?
speaker thing. What's the big speaker thing with the vinyl player, but it's got the big horn on it?
Gramophone.
Gramophone, that's the word.
Yeah. Do you remember it's the bit of music that plays over that picture that you sent us on WhatsApp, Adam, of the Jack
Well, when they're
Nicholson
zooming
when he's in
out
the
at the
Overlook Hotel? Yeah, it's that bit of
Okay.
music plays exactly when they go over the gramophone in the antique shop.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
A part that I laughed at was when Buzz was trying to make Bonnie realise she left her backpack in the shop. And then he goes into the cupboard. He just goes into the cupboard and is like, "You left your bag at the antique store. Let's go."
Yeah.
Also, I don't remember the toys speaking in front of adults before. Like,
They didn't.
speaking directly to
They didn't,
adults.
but they needed to.
Like the sat-nav bit. I don't remember that happening before.
No,
It
they
was like they're getting a bit too brave.
Well, they got to do what they got to do, don't they?
Anyway, look, I know that it's a kids' film, so I'm being super harsh on it, but I don't mean to be so harsh. And obviously,
Nor do I. I feel like
character's
that's why I
not
feel
really
like I'm
a
coming
cunt.
across the wrong way now.
I know, but I don't mean to call a little dolly in a kids' film a cunt, but she kind of was. I've said the record for me swearing the most in this in our entire podcast series is going to be in the Toy Story episode. How ridiculous!
Yes, of course. We're
I'm
putting
very sorry.
The only Toy Story
explicit
episode
content
of
in
the
the
podcast
title.
you have.
You may bleep it all
with
out.
swearing.
If you bleep it all out, they'll think I'm calling her something even worse, though, and I'll get in much trouble.
I think you've called her the worst, mate. I don't think you can get worse.
Well, I might say something racist,
It's
even
true.
though she's white. I might call her
Take the piss out
cracker.
she's ginger.
You can't say ginger.
That is a very racial term. Don't say Adam.
What did I like about this? I liked Forky very much. I really did enjoy Forky.
The ending just let it down.
Oh, Adam, you are changing constantly throughout this.
No, that's what I'm
You've
saying.
gone
This
from
is why
attacking it all the way down to I enjoyed it. The ending let it down.
But the ending let it down, but therefore annoyed me for the rest of the film. It got to a certain point where it started to grind on me. I thought, this film's just now unnecessary.
Grind on
It's
you.
now,
You should have reported it to the authorities.
It's now just dragging on, and then the ending wasn't complete enough to make the rest of the story.
All right,
worth it.
I don't think it ever dragged. Even though I found it boring, I wasn't like.
I felt like they
were
were coming close
It
to
was
an
going
end
at a
now,
normal pace.
and then they didn't. Bam, and they didn't.
What did we think of the new songs in it? I didn't care for any of them.
I didn't even notice it was
What
something.
new songs?
Well, the one at the very end for a start, which is that the sheriff one that Tom Hanks sings.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that song that's playing over the credits is a new Woody song sung by Tom Hanks. I was a something cowboy. You know that
I'll
one?
have to listen to that next time.
Yeah, did you enjoy Keanu Reeves?
It was fine.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
It wasn't
I never
amazing.
knew he
it
could
was
actually
fine.
voice act like that. Because he's not
Speak.
like we said in the last one. No, but like you said in the last episode, he's not really the greatest actor, is he?
It's true. I was thinking that he's acting
And then
better than
he's
he's
actually
ever acted.
acting like his voice is actually, yeah.
But see, he's been forced to. In John Wick, he doesn't have to do any of that. He's told underplay it, as Neo
Yeah.
underplay it, because he has to be physical with his body. Whereas, fucking hell, yeah, his acting in this was probably the best acting. It's the best he ever did. I did find it kind of funny that he was so hung up on that Canadian kid,
Yes, yes.
Jean Reno or whatever.
Yes. And then he hits his head on the lights as he goes through.
Yeah, yeah. There were nice
That was
moments,
nice.
and I did laugh a few times in it. But it's just the reason I'm giving it a low score is because I don't believe in just it was okay, especially when it's the fourth. This is Toy Story, and it was a trilogy that, even though the second one wasn't that strong, worked perfectly. And now you've got this fourth one lumped on the back end of it, which is suddenly making the whole thing a bit like. And people are shitting. I've had a look on Letterboxd. Everyone is creaming themselves over how good Toy Story 4 is. And you go take a look at their Letterboxd, and you see the 7s and 8s that they give Toy Story while they're giving this a 10. I'm sorry. How old are you? Like, you must be a teenager. Because there's no way, like, you have no comprehension then of how significant Toy Story was if you could think this is anywhere near as good as Toy Story was.
Toy Story is number one.
100%.
I do think the third one is my favourite.
No.
1, 3, 4, 2.
1, 3. I'd have to rewatch 2 to know if it was better than 4.
But I feel 2 is more in keeping with the storyline, and it adds to the. And you obviously knowing that the third one's coming along and how well the third one is, it keeps it in keeping, and it does kind of move. It adds to it, whereas this seems to just taken away.
Well, look, the main thing is I'm very glad that you've given it a temple, because it doesn't matter to me if I give this a 5 or a 10. I still enjoy the other films, but for you, it's part of a franchise.
Yes.
And you've named your child after it.
Yes.
Exactly. So I'm very happy it was a good
I'd
film.
be actually quite upset if you gave it like a 3.
You know the amazing thing is, though, that Zoe messaged me just before we started the podcast and said that Odeon...
Make sure Ben's nice about it.
No, Odeon,
Don't let him say the C word.
Odeon do like infant cinema, so we can take Woody to see Toy Story 4.
That's right.
Please
And
do
actually,
it.
the Picture House do it as well.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Picture House was the one where you could take your dogs,
You can
That
take
is-
your dogs.
that
you
is
can
insane.
just
which
have
I want to go
elderly
to
only.
so I can play with the other dogs.
That is
Oh.
ridiculous. Why the hell would you take your dog?
Why not?
I know. I've no idea why you take your dog to the cinema.
And it's very racist to cats.
That's true.
but
I
cats
would
are
never take a
bastards.
cat to the cinema. Shut up.
I do like cats. We've befriended our cats now.
You don't go anywhere near cats. You're not responsible enough.
We had one in our house the other day because we petted him when he came in.
You're ugly, man.
Anyway, have you got anything else to say about Toy Story 4?
Well,
Not really.
all right, Paul. You haven't said any bad thing about the film. There must be something. What is it? If you had to say, I didn't like this.
I mean, he did give it a 10 out of 10, so that's perfect.
It is technically meant to be perfect, yeah, but you could still say sometimes even a 10 out of 10 film can have a few flaws in it, but you look, that's testament to how good the film is if you can look past it.
Okay. I agree with your point that maybe the toys could have got integrated into the story a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that is the only thing, but it didn't hinder my enjoyment of the film.
Wonderful.
Yes. Anyway, I'd like to position this in our scoring.
Oh yes.
And see where it places.
See where it ranks.
So it's a 7.6, and after having a little discussion, we've decided that it goes in between Glass, Mission Impossible, Glass being the top, Toy Story below it, and then Mission Impossible Fallout. And I'm happy. That's fine. But
Okay,
Glass is
Paul.
a shit film.
Sorry, did I interrupt something?
I just said Glass is a shit film. That's all I said.
No, you're not allowed to say that. You had your topic to shit on it when we were doing the Glass podcast. It's time to shit on Toy Story 4. I would like to know if this or Avengers Endgame was better for you then.
Avengers Endgame. Better.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking hell. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know how I feel about that, mate.
I feel there was more on the line with Avengers, though.
You rated Avengers Endgame higher than Toy Story.
Both of us did, didn't we?
Yeah, both of us did, yeah. I stand by that. I will say to Toy Story's credit that it is better than all my other 6s that I've given this year, which were Green Book, Captain Marvel and Shazam. I think it's better than all 3 of those.
Well,
Can't believe they're even in the same category.
Well, I can't believe that you would put something as incredible as the house that Jack built so low on a list. Mate, there's no way Avengers Endgame is a 10 and the house that Jack built's a 6.
It definitely is, mate. Come on, we have to agree that the house that Jack built, though it is very original and quite captivating, it is not an amazing film.
It's a 7 though. 6 is very harsh.
Yeah, and you gave Toy Story a 6. 6 is very harsh.
No, but Toy Story deserves the harshness because it had a little doll in it that was the C word.
Uma Thurman was in that film.
Which film?
She was a C word.
Oh yeah, she was.
She was a C word.
You sounded so concerned then.
So Paul, you started this year being the most critical out of the 3 of us of
Indeed.
films, and I think was given the most points for things. But now, in a twist of fortune, you have actually been given the most points for films this year. And I'm in second place, and Adam is in last place. So Adam has been the most critical of films this year.
I'm very sorry, Ben, if you're very offended by me rating films high, but I just must really like films this year.
That's nonsense. That's not true. That's not a good judge of things. It means you are too easy on things.
I know. I'm sorry, but I've just really enjoyed film this year.
You let your heart speak over your brain.
You have your own mind, and that's what hurts me so much, boy. You've got the smartest you've got the smartest mind in the world.
But the smartest tackle.
You use it for bad rather than good.
Can I say something? I'm the one who slated 3 Billboards.
Exactly. Yes. Why did you? That was a fucking good film, and you slated it.
And so was Toy Story 4.
Yes, they are comparable, aren't they?
Oh, Ben's not going to be too happy when he sees you on Saturday.
I'm going to be very happy. I'm going to bring so much Toy Story 4 stuff with me.
When you come visit my house on Saturday, you better be saying, "I love Toy Story 4" to Woody, because he'd be very upset if you don't.
Listen, I will sing the praises of Toy Story 1, 3 and even 2, but I shan't mention 4 in front of his ears.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, should we wrap this up?
Let's wrap this up.
Yes, I think we spoke on for too long.
I think we spoke for too long, but I'm sure we were very animated, and that was a good listen.
Just for everyone's enjoyment, we will be reviewing Midsummer for the next episode.
In about a week and a half.
Maybe I'll rate it very highly just for Ben.
Well, listen, if it deserves it, This time last year. Here's the other thing.
Oh
you
my
two.
God, he's going off again.
No, because you two last year gave
Just
Hereditary.
doesn't stop.
Listen, you two last year both gave Hereditary 6s, and I'm sorry. Hereditary and the house that Jack built, while not perfect by a long stretch of the imagination, deserve higher points for originality and effort. I would rather people
but they didn't
fail
execute.
but try to do something good than succeed at doing the same old thing. That's all I'll say.
Hereditary fell short, man.
Hereditary, yeah, exactly, Adam. Hereditary was very good until the ending, where I was like, this is absolute shit.
Hereditary tried hard, but it didn't do well.
And we all know that an ending can ruin a film.
Paul, what ending in this film, if the last 5 minutes of Toy Story 4 could have changed, what would have caused it to drop to a 6 for you?
If Woody shot himself in the head.
It would have still been a 10 out of 10 if Woody shot himself in the head. Because that would have been amazing.
And nobody would have expected that shit in the world.
No, exactly. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. You've been listening to FilmBusters.
Fantastic.
And you can get in touch with us at FilmBustersPod on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, or email us at filmbusters@outlook.com. Or we have our individual Twitter accounts. I'm at FilmBustersPaul.
I'm at FilmBusters Adam.
And I'm at FilmBusters Benjamin.
We also have our website, which is www.filmbusterspod.co.uk, where you can find all your FilmBusters content in one place. So please visit it.
And give us a like and subscribe on the things that you can like and subscribe on.
Yes, please. We'll be
And
very
not on the
happy.
things you can't.
Hit that subscribe button. If you want to hear more, hit that subscribe button.
Yep.
Comment below. Share with all your friends. Give us the thumbs up and hit like and subscribe. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please don't ever do that accent again.
Okay, sorry. It was better than most of the accents in this awful film. It's not true. I don't mean that. I don't mean
I don't
to be
think
so
anyone
harsh
had
on
an
them.
accent, did they?
Yeah, Tim Allen.
He had
Well,
that racist accent.
Yes.
Yes. We stayed away from discussing that.
FilmBusters.